Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Today we are going to work on our beehive. Yesterday, you joined me for our bees. We painted our bees, and today we're going to be painting our beehive. This is the largest beehive in the collection, and then this is the smallest one in the collection. So we're going to work on the medium beehive today. So, hey everyone, this is Robin from Center Street Decor, SVGs and more, where I create SVG files for your laser printers, so the Glowforge or other laser printers. So also can be used on a cutting machine. So let me just show you. I'm going to bring you down and we're going to show you what we're going to be painting today. So our medium-sized beehive, let me bring you down a little bit. So we've got our beehive here. Let me find where my center is going to be. I'm going to bring you over just a little bit more. Okay, so this is and you can see the three different sizes here. So we've got our small and medium, and then here is our large beehive, all three of these together. Get my little readers on. They help me when I'm doing all my painting. So, and then they come with three sweet little tags. So they come with the honey house, sweet bees, and then today we're going to do the tag that says natural honey, and we're going to add that to our beehive. So all of the beehives come with several different pieces so that you can work with. So we've got two different honeycombs, we've got the tag, and then we have two bees, and then the door. So you can mix and match. You can actually mix and match, put whatever size you want on which honeycomb or which beehive. And you can see I just use one of the honeycombs on the small one and just one of the bees. So on the larger one, I did use the two honeycombs, the two bees, and then a cute tag, of course. So once we get going, we'll kind of decide what we want to do. We'll just paint the pieces and see if we want to add one bee, two bees, two honeycombs. So we'll see as we get going along. Okay, so let's go ahead and move our pieces. And then I like to save some of the small little pieces that go in the honeycomb. So if you can see, I put some of the small pieces inside of the honeycomb right there, just to add some fun, just some fun variation. I like to do that. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. We'll see if it's going to come or not. Okay, so the first thing first, I'm going to wipe this off just a bit. It's a little bit on the dirty side. So we'll set these aside. And we're going to go ahead and do our base coat on the top of our beehive. And I'm going to just use, this is a Valspar paint. This is Essential Gold. But any mustard color, or if you like to do yellow, whereas like a brighter yellow, this bee has a brighter yellow on it, you could do that as well. So whatever color you like to do for your beehive. So this SVG file is available now in the Etsy shop. My Etsy shop is called Center Street Decor. So, let's get some paintbrushes. I'm going to use a larger paintbrush. I like to get my paintbrush a little bit wet and then tap off some of the extra water. Just kind of helps me blend it. So nothing fancy about this painting. We're just doing just a base coat all along our beehive. And we don't need to worry about doing a solid area where the doorway is, because that is going to be covered up. And these are actually quick and easy to paint. my beehives and my bees that coordinate together. And these are our 3D shelf sitters. So if you can see the beehive, it's 3 layers thick and it will stand on its own. But remember, if you want to just use one layer, the top layer, just like on a tiered tray, you can do that as well. So you don't have to make it a shelf sitter if you don't want to, but they are really cute just to pop on a shelf in your entryway, or if you have a darling little tiered tray that you like to decorate for all the seasons. Okay, once we have this base coated, we're just going to set that aside. Let's base coat our doorway, and I'm just going to do that in a black. My black is almost gone. Whoops, there it comes out. Not where I wanted, but it did come out. Okay. And that's just going to kind of get in my way now. Now that I made a mess of the black. And I'll probably do 2 coats on the door. I'll also do 2 coats on the beehive. Okay, we'll set that aside. And one thing that I didn't do is I like to just take and kind of scrape out the inside lines. It's optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Smooth some of those little areas. Oh, hi, Mickey. My little doggy just came in. He's probably like, hey, who are you talking to? Little area I missed right there. Okay. So while that's drying, set that aside. And for the back, I won't do anything at all with the middle piece. So that will be unpainted. But the very back, I like to just make it finished, give it a finished look. And I'm just going to go ahead and just use a baby white and a little bit of brown paint. Oh, and I just realized I don't have my brown paint. I'm going to have to grab that real quick. Okay. So last night, I had a paint night at the church with our church group. And so some of my supplies got in different directions. And so this morning when I was gathering my supplies for the live, I was thinking I had everything. You think you do until you start to paint. So this is just a little bit of burnt umber. Just going to take a baby wipe and just fold it a few times. And then I just dip it into my brown paint. Just give some swipes over it. And then just start rubbing. So I'm not really trying to do a complete solid paint. Just enough to give it a little bit more of a finished look. So we're not looking at the raw wood. Okay, and then that's it. So we'll just set that aside. That will dry. So these two pieces are finished. This is the middle piece. Oh, I just realized I don't have my glue too. I took my glue last night, and so I'm going to have to go find my glue. We'll find that in just a minute. So we've got our back and then our middle piece that we don't need to do anything else with. So these are still drying a little bit. Let's go to our, let's make this, we're going to use our antique parchment, any kind of an ivory. If you don't want to use white, I like to use kind of an ivory color is what I'm using with to go with the mustard. So with that, I am going to use a piece of this sponge, and I don't have scissors with me either. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, I did find some pieces of sponges, and so that will help me. So just using I'm actually just using this makeup sponge, and I've cut it into 4 pieces just to get me excuse me, the pieces that I'm going to use. So I like to dab it in my paint and then tap off quite a bit, because you can see we've got this lovely engraved image on here, and we still want to see all those words. We don't want to paint inside those words. So we're just going to gently, I'm just going to gently tap very, very lightly. Just going over it. Okay. So you can see we've just got some good coverage, and I'm going to give this one more coat, but you can still read those words, and there's not too much paint, maybe a teeny bit of paint in that larger N area, but it looks fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another coat of black. On our door. Okay, so we've got the door base coated. And I'm going to start painting our little bees, because they'll take a few coats. Let me get more of a pointer brush. And I'm just going to paint in the mustard color. So and then I'll come in and paint my black lines, but we're going to go ahead and paint the mustard color first. I'm just going to try to avoid the wings for now. I'm just painting the bodies of our bees. And this will take a few coats because it will absorb in this, I'm using MDF. So when I cut out my pieces for my beehive, I like to cut all the accessory pieces in 1/8 inch wood, or in this case, it's MDF. And then when I cut the chunky pieces out, I do them in 1/4 inch. So the 3 pieces of 1/4 inch together makes a really nice shelf sitter. Okay, we've got our, we're going to come and paint these a little bit. We're going to get another one of our little sponges, and we're going to do yellow. I just have this is just cadmium yellow. It's just Americana, but whatever yellow you have on hand, I'm sure would work fantastic. So I'm just going to take, oh, I had this piece right there. I'm going to take a piece of sponge. Let's see if I can get some of these to stick on here so I can hold onto the tape instead of holding off onto the piece of wood. So, and I'm not sure again which pieces I'm going to use in the finished product, but we're going to go ahead and just paint them. Okay, let's just let that dry just a little bit. And it doesn't take long at all for this little, the bees to dry. So again, we got to do another coat. And like I said, we'll probably do 3 or 4 coats on the bee bodies. Okay, set those aside. And this looks like it's dry enough that we can go ahead and do one more coat of paint on our beehive. And it's not going to take long at all to do this project. Okay, so I think I have pretty good coverage. So now I'm going to take my scraper tool, just clean a little bit of those lines out. This is just a pointer tool. It came with, I guess, a couple others. You just got it from the Dollar Tree, so it works great. Just to clean out those score lines. I see I have a fuzzy right there. Set that aside. Let's add a little bit more paint to our honeycomb. Now, with the honeycomb, I like the inside pieces to be a bright yellow. But with I want the outside piece to be kind of kind of spotty, I guess. That's a good word to use. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's paint our bees again. Oh, it's windy here today. I can just hear that wind. We have had the craziest winds. Had a lot of paint on my brush, so I'm going to pull it over to this other bee. Yeah, but the winds have been so crazy. I don't know why. We have so much wind lately. I mean, we have quite a bit of wind here in Idaho, but lately, oh my goodness, it's just been blowing and blowing. I finally pulled my capris out of my drawer. I've been wearing long pants, but I finally pulled the capris out. And hopefully I can keep them out for the rest of the summer. Okay. So let's set these little bees aside so they can dry good, and then we can do the black lines on our bees. And we're going to do some shading on our beehive. You can leave it just like that, which looks fantastic. But if you see, we're going to do just a little bit of shading in between the lines here, and then we'll do some shading on our door as well. Let's go ahead and paint this a little bit more. I usually do 2 coats on my tags. So again, tapping as much paint off as I can. And then again, tapping very, very, very gently. I've got my little doggy laying down here on the floor by me. He usually follows me around the house. Okay, so this is ready to do some shading on it. I'm going to grab a little bit of a narrower brush. And I usually use angled brushes. That's my preference of brushes to use. So we're just going to use some of that ivory color, and I'm going to just absorb some of that paint on, or the water on my paper towel. And then I'm just going to touch into my ivory paint. I've got a little bit here. And then give it a little blend. And then walk around the outside, the inside of that door. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry. And I don't usually like it quite that bright, so we will go over it with a little bit of a brown. Let's see, let's add a little bit. So you can see as you work, you have a lot of different pieces to work with. So you're just going to kind of jump back and forth between the different pieces that you work with. While one's drying, you move on to another one. And if you were actually to do the 3 different sizes of beehives at the same time, you can see how quickly that would go. You just jump from piece to piece, do all of the honeycombs at the same time, do all of the bees at the same time. So again, I want these to be kind of the brightest solid yellow. And then you can see that the beehive is a little, or the honeycomb, these pieces right here are a little more, not quite as a solid paint. And I'm going to leave them like that. Okay. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get our black, and we're going to paint our stripes on our bees. Our bees are going to start coming to life here, and that's always really fun, huh? Just got this fine tip painter, and we have the not engraved but scored lines that I'm just going to follow. Yeah, so just follow those little scored lines that are on there. They are fantastic little helpers, those little scored lines, so then you know where you need to be. So just painting every other little stripe. Okay, so we'll let those dry. Usually you just need one coat of the black, or maybe even two, but okay, I've got a little bit of dripped my water right there. Okay, so these pieces are finished. I'm happy with those. We'll let those set aside to dry. We got to do our little wings on our bees. Maybe one more coat of the black. We'll let that dry. So we're going to start working on our shading on our beehive and our tag. And I like to use this lighter brown. It's a nutmeg brown. They're an apple barrel. So I use the burnt umber for when I did so the back here. And you can see how much this wood actually absorbs paint really quickly. So it's not a really dark brown. As when we first put it on, it looked pretty dark, but it absorbs and dries lighter. So I like to use the nutmeg brown for my shading. Just a good brown. Oh, got a mess on my lid, but once that dries, I'll pull all that messy stuff off. Okay, so let's grab, you see my water is getting really, really dirty, and then I tap it into this cleaner water. So my brush isn't too dirty. So I'm actually just going to do this doorway just to make it a little bit softer. Again, just doing my blending. I'm just going to soften up that white so it's not so stark white. You can leave it that bright white if you like it that way. I like to just use that brown just to soften it up a little bit. Okay. So I can see our beehive needs some more drying time. I might have to take the heat tool to that. See some areas that are probably thicker where I pulled the stylus or that pointer tool. let's go ahead and add some shading. I'm going to get a smaller angle brush. Pick up that same brown, and then I blend it. So I just tip the corner. I don't know if you can see that, but I just tip just the corner of my brush, and then I just blend it just kind of over and over, so it kind of creates an ombre look. And then I'm just going to run it down the edge. I'm going to do both sides. Just kind of let that dry, and then we'll do these outside edges. So just put that aside for a minute. Let's see if we need to do a little bit more black on our beads. Let's do a little bit more. Oh, I had a lot of water in my brush. It's just too wet. Okay, we're almost ready to do the wings, and the wings we're just going to do in that same ivory. We'll get a little bit more paint. And on my wings, I don't clean out that line. I just leave that line just kind of solid. I'm just going to go ahead and just painting, so I'm not worried about pulling that line, cleaning out that line. That line's just going to be my guide where I want to do my shading. Okay, let those dry. On this piece, we can go ahead and do our second shading. Dip that corner in, and then just blend, blend, blend. And then I'm just going to drag it along that edge. And then this other edge, just to get a finished look. And then that tag is finished. Our door's finished, our tag's finished, our honeycomb is finished. So we're just working on our beehive and our bees. And then we'll get to put it all together. I'm going to grab my heat tool and dry this a little bit. Okay, ready to do our shading on this. I'm going to do another coat of this while it's drying, another coat on our bees' wings. Okay, we might need to do 3 coats on our little bee's wings. But let's start to do our shading on our beehive. Just going to use that same brown. Tip the end in there and brush it along. And then we're just going to drag it. So shading's fun. It just adds a little dimension to your project. And it's optional. I mean, it looks really cute without doing all the shading. The shading just adds a little bit more dimension to your project. Okay. Let's do another coat of our white on our wings. I almost went into black. That would not have looked good, huh? I went a little bit onto the black with the white, so I'm just going to tap it. There we go. Okay, back to our shading. And I like to do the shading all the way around the outside. So let's just go ahead and do that. You do need water in your brush when you're shading. It helps it just to move for me. And kind of when the water runs out, the paint just starts to drag and not blend smooth. So that's why I keep dipping my brush in my water. Just picking up water. Water is your friend. It's my friend when I'm shading. Okay. We're going to go around that doorway as well. I think I still have some water in my brush. I did decide to pick up a little bit more water. And if you find it's really heavy and you're like, oh, it's just too heavy, grab a little more water on your brush. And you notice I didn't pick up any paint. But I'm just going to go ahead and grab that paint that I felt like was too heavy around that edge. There we go. Okay, and then the last time we'll just go across the top of the lines. And see, there's hardly any water coming off, and I'm getting kind of like a big dark line. So I'll just grab water and blend it before it dries. There. A couple more spots down here that I haven't gotten yet. There we go. So our beehive is complete. So the last thing that we need to do is give a little bit of shading to our beehive or our bees' wings. And I am going to get a very small shading brush. Let's see what I've got. I've got this one. See if this is the one that I want to use. Actually, we're going to go ahead and use this one instead. So I just kind of grabbed the smallest little angle brush. This is get a little bit down there, and I'm going to use just a light blue. This is sky blue. We're just going to do just the slightest amount of shading on our wings. So again, same method we've been doing. We just have a smaller area we're working with. So I'm just going to dip just the very corner in and just blend. So I'm just going to go all the way around that wing. And it's just going to be just the lightest. We're getting there. We're almost done. We're almost ready to put our beehive together. And that's always the really fun part, just to get it all together, huh? Okay, so I'm actually going to blend on both sides of my line. So I can still see my line. I don't know if you can, but I can still see my little line there, even though there's paint in it. So I'm going to go on both sides. So I'll go on one side, turn it around, and go down the other side. See if you can see that. So I just went on both sides of that line with my shading. And we're going to do the same thing on these little wings too. Down one side, flip it around, and go down the other side. Okay, so there's our cute little bees. So I'll hold these up and see if you can see the shading on our bees. So they're really sweet. And when I do want to do a little bit of shading on just the bodies, just a quick little, picking up a little bit of this brown. And I'm actually just going to go kind of on the outside. The outside of that mustard color, that goldeny color. Okay, let me hold it up again so you can see. So I did a little bit, just a tiniest little bit of shading on the bodies, just with the brown. Cute, aren't they the sweetest little bees? Okay, we are ready to assemble. And that is fun part. Just to see your project all come together after all that fun painting that you've done. Okay, I do need some scissors. Okay. These are my fabric scissors, but that's what I need to cut is some ribbon. So I still have all my other scissors packed up in my box from my church event. And usually I use a stick fast glue, but it's packed up too. And so I grabbed this. This is just a extreme power, just a super glue. And that's what it is right here. Okay, so let's put our beehive together. So I've got the bottom piece and then the center piece. We're going to glue that together. So just go ahead and put your glue on, line it up. Just fill it with your fingers. That matches up where you want it to be. And then once I've done that, then I lay it down and just give some firm pressure. Oh, that didn't hold. I might have to go find my stick fast glue. I thought this would work just fine, but I'm going to have to find my stick fast glue. Okay, I still have my laundry baskets full of all my supplies. That's usually how I take things to places. So stick fast. Stick fast is my favorite. Maybe this takes a little bit longer to glue, but this is almost instant. Well, it gives you probably about 10-15 seconds to work with it. So it's my favorite. So we're going to use that. So I apologize for all the interruptions of me going to find all my supplies. Okay, so same method. Make sure everything is where it needs to be. And then just some firm pressure. Takes about 15 seconds and then it's on there. Okay. Yeah. Stick fast is my glue of choice. Okay, we'll put the top on. Same thing. And I like when there's a flat bottom, which is great for these little shelf sitters. You can have a flat area to work with. And then just some firm pressure. Okay. And let's go ahead and clean up a little bit of our edges. I've got just a brown, this is a brown paint marker. And if there's any edges that you've got paint that you just want to cover those edges. So you want those edges just to be nice and clean. And let's go ahead and do it on our little tag. So our tag looks clean on the edges because a little bit of that sponging does go over the edges. But we're going to just clean them right up. And I'll look at the bees and see if there's any little areas that need to be cleaned up. It's easier to clean up the edges before you glue it on than after. Believe me, because I have tried to do it after without thinking there were any edges to be cleaned up, and it just didn't work out. Like if you can see that, see the edge is quite, let me try to get you in the center. So if I just take my brown marker and just run it along that. So look how much that looks so much better, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we've got those, our bees, our honeycomb I don't really worry about too much. You could if you wanted. Okay, so let's decide, this is the planning part. So we're going to add a little bit of ribbon to our a little bit of ribbon to our tag. That's what it's called, a tag. And I see if I have a tool to push it through. Because my tools that I used, once again, are in the church baskets that I took to church. Let's see if I can push it through. I don't know if I can. I'm going to have to go get my tool. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness my baskets are just out there in the hallway. So I have got, this is just a beading tool. A piece of wire would work just fine too. I didn't happen to have a piece of wire here, or I would have used that. And I'm just going to push it up through the hole. And this is probably the thickest ribbon you would ever want to use because the holes are pretty tiny. So I'm just going to give it a good pull through there. Okay, and then I'm just going to straighten out my ribbon a little bit. And then I'm just going to tie just a one loop knot. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the ends and I'm going to trim the ends so they have the nice V or fishtail, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is ready. Okay, let's decide where we want to put our pieces. Oh, I just realized, you guys, one more little thing. We got to add our little cute little dot to our eye. So I have a stylus. These, I don't know if these two come together from the Dollar Tree or if you get two of these or two of these, but anyway, these are from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to use the smallest little dot and I do a little tester just to see if it's about the size I want to go. And if it's too big or too small, then I just give a little bit lighter pressure. Oh, he's going to have big eyes. But he's going to be cute. Okay, and I want to be careful not to touch those little dots because I don't want to smear them. Okay, let's get our little pieces and decide where we want to put what. So we know where our door is going to go. Let's put our door on. Okay, so our door is just going to go right there. And then maybe we'll do this little piece down here. So just tapping a little bit of dots on there. And if you feel like you got too much glue and you don't want it to squish out, just tap it on your paper towel. Don't let it dry. Oh my goodness. It was wet there, so Probably wasn't the best idea. Fight all those little fuzzies. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll put that there. And then maybe we'll just put this. Now I have glue and paper towel stuck to my fingers, and it will probably be there for the rest of the day. So should we put that up there and think of, oh, my bee was upside down, but his eye is okay. And then just think of where you want to put your bees. You can put your tag. Oh, that might be kind of fun. A little bit different than the other beehives that I did. Natural honey. Oh, that might be cute right there. Let's do that right there. And let's go ahead and glue. Let's glue this honeycomb on. This time when I tap it upside down on my paper towel, I am going to put it in a dry area. So just a couple dots, and this is dry. So I'm just going to tap it down for a second and then pick it right back up. Don't put it in a wet spot. I just learned something new. Okay. Let's just go ahead and put it here. I'm going to put the natural honey here. So we put a bee up here. And then a bee. You don't even have to put the bee on the honeycomb. Oh, that might be cute. Sometimes these little honeycombs, they're fun for risers. So if I put it underneath a bee, if you wanted him to be lifted, let's do that. That would be cute, huh? I'm just going to put a dot right there, and then I'll put a dot where our bee will be. Our bee will be, you guys. Oh my goodness. Let's put some glue on the back. And I like to put it at the highest point, which is going to be where that ribbon is. And I'm not sure what area is going to touch. Oh, but before I do that, let's add some little honeycombs. We're just going to pop these right back in. Before I lay this down too firmly, let's see if I want to do one more or if that's good. I think that's good. Okay. I'll hold that for a few seconds. Okay, we can add some honeycombs. Let's see, I think I would like to put him up high, or maybe just on the edge of that honeycomb. And then we'll just do some random spots to add to the honeycomb. And you're just putting a puzzle together. Just putting the pieces in. Should we do one more? Let's do one more right there. Okay. Cute. I think that's good. And I think I maybe want him up a little bit higher, but it would help if I had a little riser right here to keep him from, do you see how he's like falling over? This little riser piece will keep him from falling over. So we're going to add a little piece of honeycomb for a riser. Add a little bit of there. Let's see where his body is going to be, you guys. There, finished, you guys. So cute. Isn't that just so cute? Oh, just love it. Let me turn it around so that, because I know it's probably backwards to you. But look how cute. I think that turned out so sweet, you guys. So let me just show you the different sizes all together. Move that out of the way. So we have our small, medium, and large. Can you see all those? Yep, you can see all those. Let's move that paint so it's not so messy. Small, medium, and large. Oh, aren't they cute as ever, you guys? And let's bring the bees in so you can see. So the bees, here is our bees. Here's our small bee. And the bee has a flower with the file. And then again, 3 tags. The tags say, be happy. Actually, I think I have 4 tags. I have be happy, be kind. I have buzzing around and honey lover. Isn't that cute? Because a bee would be a honey lover. Okay, let me show you the 3 together. Our small, medium, and large. Now remember, these are all, let me come over just a little bit. These are all our shelf sitters. So all of them are shelf sitters. I have to say that carefully. And they all come already resized for you. So that is the fantastic thing. So if I tip them up, and you can tip the bee on whichever side you want. So I'm just showing you that they all stand all by themselves. So super cute on a tiered tray, super cute on your entryway, on your fireplace mantle, wherever you like to decorate for your summer decorations. So these are all so cute. So anyway, I think they turned out so sweet, you guys. I just love them. I hope you love. Sorry, my camera's just not staying up where I want it to be. It's just gonna fall down. That's okay. Just gonna fall down. So I just think this is the one that we just did today. And I think it turned out so cute, you guys. Anyway, I hope you like it too. So this is Robin from Center Street Decor, SVGs and more, where I make SVG files for your Glowforge or laser printer so that you can have fun with your laser printer. I love designing, and I hope you enjoy these files. But I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday. We'll talk to you later. Bye.